During Christmas, Grandma asked if I loved my new car. I said, "What car?" Then stared at my parents and they went pale. Before the story continues, kindly subscribe to support us. And while you're here, say hi and tell us where you're watching from. We cherish every comment. Christmas morning at Grandma Pauline's house always smelled like cinnamon rolls and pine. I was 23, sitting cross-legged by the fireplace in my worn Target sweater, watching my younger brother Derek tear through presents like a tornado. The living room was packed, aunts, uncles, cousins, all of us crammed into her small Detroit bungalow like sardines. My parents, Leonard and Shanice, sat on the worn leather couch looking unusually smug. Dad kept checking his phone. Mom wouldn't stop smiling at me with this weird, tight-lipped expression that made my stomach twist. "Naomi, baby," Grandma Pauline called out, her voice cutting through the chaos. She was adjusting her Christmas sweater with the light-up reindeer, her mahogany face glowing in the firelight. "Come here, sweetheart. Tell your grandma. How you loving that new car your parents got you?" The room went silent, like someone had pressed mute on the entire universe. I felt every eye turned toward me. My cousin Tasha's jaw literally dropped. Uncle Jerome stopped mid-bite of his ham sandwich. Even little Derek looked up from his new PlayStation game. "What car?" I said slowly, the words tasting wrong in my mouth. Grandma's smile faltered. "The car, baby. The Toyota your parents been telling everybody about. Said they bought it for you last month for doing so good at your nursing job." My blood turned to ice. I looked at my parents. Really looked at them. Dad's brown skin had gone ashy. Mom's hand was trembling as she set down her coffee mug. Their faces, oh God, their faces went absolutely pale despite their dark complexion. That's when I knew. Something was catastrophically wrong. "Leonard." Grandma's voice sharpened like a blade. "Shanice, what's going on here?" I stood up slowly, my legs feeling like jelly. "Yeah, Mom. That. What car?" My voice was eerily calm, but inside I was screaming. I'd been taking the bus to my nursing shifts at Detroit Memorial for the past 3 years. Rain, snow, sleet didn't matter. 2 hours each way because I couldn't afford a car after paying them $1,500 monthly for rent in their basement. Dad cleared his throat, loosening his collar. "Baby girl, we can explain." "Explain what?" I cut him off. "Explain why Grandma thinks you bought me a car that doesn't exist?" My hands were shaking now. Aunt Rita stood up from her chair, sensing drama. "He lived for this stuff." Mom jumped in, her voice desperate. "Naomi, sweetie, you're embarrassing us. We'll talk about this at home." "No." The word came out like a gunshot. "We're talking now. Right here. In front of everyone." Something in my gut told me I needed witnesses. Needed people to hear whatever truth was about to come out. Grandma set down her plate with a loud clank. "Leonard Jerome Williams, you better start talking. Right now." Dad's jaw clenched. Mom wouldn't meet my eyes. Derek had gone completely still, controller forgotten in his lap. Uncle Jerome muttered, "Oh, this about to be good," earning him a sharp elbow from Aunt Rita. The presents under the tree suddenly felt meaningless. The Christmas music playing felt mocking. And my parents, my own parents, looked like strangers wearing familiar faces. We needed the money. Mom's words were barely a whisper, but they echoed through that living room like thunder. "What money?" I demanded. My nursing scrubs from last night's shift were still in my bag by the door. I'd worked a double, 16 hours, and taken the bus home at 2 a.m. in December cold. "For what?" "The $1,500 I give you every month?" "For rent." Dad finally spoke, his voice gruff. "It wasn't enough, Naomi. You don't understand the expenses." "Then where's the car?" Tasha interrupted, leaning forward. She'd always been protective of me ever since we were kids. If you needed money, why tell everyone you bought her a car? Mom's eyes darted to the kitchen then back. We were going to buy her one. We had other priorities first. Other priorities? Grandma Pauline's voice could have cut glass. Like what? That's when Derek spoke up, his teenage voice cracking. Like my basketball camp. The $5,000 one in California. The room exploded. Voices overlapping, accusations flying. But I just stood there frozen as the pieces clicked together. The rent I'd been paying in their paid-off house. There were struggling conversations that somehow coincided with their vacation photos on Facebook. The cruise to Jamaica last summer while I ate ramen noodles for dinner. You've been stealing from me, I said quietly. Everyone went silent again. Haven't you? Mom's tears started. Dad looked away. And that's when I knew I'd been funding their lifestyle for 3 years. Everybody out. Except Leonard, Shanice, and Naomi. Grandma Pauline's command was absolute. Nobody argued with her. Not even Uncle Jerome, who loved drama more than he loved breathing. Within 2 minutes, the living room had cleared, though I could hear whispers from the kitchen and dining room. Tasha squeezed my shoulder on her way out, whispering, I got your back. Grandma walked to her secretary desk and pulled out a manila folder. My stomach dropped. She'd known. Somehow she'd known something was wrong. Sit, she commanded my parents. They obeyed like scolded children. She opened the folder, spreading papers across her coffee table. Bank statements. Transaction records. Facebook screenshots. Naomi, baby, come look at this. My hands trembled as I knelt beside her. There, in black and white, were my parents' bank statements. How she got them I didn't want to know. But the numbers told a story I'd been too blind to see. Deposits, $1,500. Every month. From me. Listed as Naomi rent. But the mortgage? Paid off in 2019. 5 years ago. You lied, I whispered, my finger tracing the numbers. June, July, August, all the way back. $18,000. Just in the last year alone. Mama, you had no right, Dad started. No right. Grandma's voice could have melted steel. No right to protect my grandbaby from thieves? Even if those thieves are my own son. Mom sobbed into her hands. Dad's jaw worked silently. And I felt something inside me break clean in half. I pulled out my phone with shaking hands. Let me show you all something. My voice sounded disconnected, like it belonged to someone else. I opened my banking app, the one I checked obsessively every day, afraid of overdraft fees. My checking account. Right now. $347.62. Grandma's face crumpled. Baby. Wait. I'm not done. I scrolled to my savings. Savings account. $812. That's it. That's all I have after 3 years of working as an ICU nurse. My voice cracked. Do you know what I make hourly? $28. Do you know how many overtime shifts I work? At least 3 a week. I looked at my parents. Really looked at them. I did the math once. After taxes, I bring home roughly $4,200 a month. $1,500 to you. $800 for my car insurance. For a car I don't have, but you insisted I keep the policy on yours, just in case. $300 for my phone, groceries, and student loan payments. That leaves me with barely $2,000 for everything else. Dad opened his mouth. I held up my hand. You know what I haven't done in 3 years? Bought new clothes. Went to a movie. Had a girls' night out. Gone on a date that cost more than a drive-through meal. Tears were streaming down my face now. I had to cancel my gym membership because I couldn't afford $29 a month. Naomi, we were struggling. Mom tried. No. Grandma cut her off. Show her Leonard. Show her your bank balance right now. The color drained from Dad's face. Mama, that's private. Show her. Dad pulled out his phone like it weighed 1,000 pounds. His hands were shaking as he opened his banking app, holding it out toward me. I grabbed it, my breath catching. Checking account, $12,417.33. Savings account, $47,821.09. The room spun. $60,000, I whispered. You have $60,000 and you've been taking my money? Show her the statements, Grandma commanded. All of them. Mom was crying harder now, mascara running down her cheeks like black rivers. Please, Naomi, you don't understand. Then make me understand. I screamed. The words ripped from somewhere deep, somewhere primal. I heard footsteps from the kitchen. The family listening, witnessing. Make me understand why you need my money when you're sitting on $60,000. Dad's voice was hollow. We were saving for retirement. The words hung there like a death sentence. Retirement, I repeated slowly. You were saving for retirement. On my back. While I ate dollar menu meals and walked through Detroit winters because bus service got delayed. Something inside me crystallized, turned cold and hard. What about the car, Dad? The one Grandma thinks you bought me. He wouldn't answer. Mom sobbed louder. So Grandma pulled out another paper from her folder. It's registered under Derek's name, she said quietly. Brand new Toyota Camry. $28,000. Bought it last month. For his 17th birthday. The air left my lungs. My baby brother got the car I'd been promised. The car they'd told everyone was mine. You gave my car to Derek? The words came out strangled, barely human. I looked at my 17-year-old brother who'd appeared in the doorway. His face was pale, guilty. He'd known. They'd all known. It wasn't like that, Dad started. Then what was it like? I stood up, my whole body shaking. Tell me, Dad. Explain how it wasn't exactly like that. You told everyone you bought me a car. You bought a car. You gave it to Derek. How is that not exactly what it looks like? Derek stepped forward. Naomi, I didn't ask. Don't. I held up my hand. Just don't. I couldn't look at him. My baby brother who I'd helped raise. Who I'd bought school supplies for with money I didn't have. Who I'd covered for when he snuck out to see his girlfriend. Did you know? When they gave you the keys, did you know they told everyone it was mine? His silence was answer enough. Uncle Jerome appeared behind Derek. No, this ain't right. His voice carried into the living room. Y'all really out here taking that girl's money like she's a lottery ticket? Aunt Rita was next. Shanice, I knew you was messy, but this is low. Even for you. Tasha pushed past them both. You've been crying to me for years about money, Auntie. Had me feeling sorry for you. And you sitting on 60,000. Mom's voice rose. You don't understand what it's like to raise children. The sacrifice. Sacrifice. The word exploded from my throat. You want to talk about sacrifice? I sacrificed my 20s. I sacrificed my social life, my mental health, my physical health, working doubles and triples to give you money you didn't need. Grandma Pauline stood up, her small frame somehow towering over everyone. Everybody needs to calm down right now. But her voice was shaking. I'd never heard her voice shake before. Leonard, Shanice, I need y'all to tell me the truth. Right now. How long has this been going on? Dad's shoulders slumped. Since she moved back home after nursing school. 3 years, I whispered. The calculation hit me like a physical blow. 1,500 times 36 months. I did the math in my head, nurse brain kicking in even through emotional devastation. $54,000. You've taken $54,000 from me. Aunt Rita gasped. Uncle Jerome started pacing. Tasha pulled out her phone, probably texting the family group chat. The whole family would know within minutes. It wasn't supposed to be forever, Mom said desperately. We had debt. What debt? Grandma cut in. Your house is paid off. Your cars are paid off. I know because I helped you pay off the mortgage early in 2019. What debt, Shanice? Mom's face crumbled. No answer. Credit cards, Derek said quietly from the doorway. They maxed out credit cards on trips and stuff. I heard them fighting about it. Dad whirled on him. Derek, shut your mouth. No, Derek said, his voice stronger now. No, Dad. This is wrong. This whole thing is wrong. He looked at me with tears in his eyes. Naomi, I'm sorry. I should have said something. Why didn't you? Asked, my voice dead. Because they said it was temporary. They said they'd pay you back. They said, his voice broke. They said a lot of things. Tasha moved to stand beside me. So let me get this straight. Y'all stole from your daughter to fund vacations and shopping sprees, told the whole family you bought her a car, actually bought that car for your son, and now you're mad people are calling you out. There's more. Grandma's voice was ice. She reached behind the couch and pulled out a large wrapped box. My name was on it. In her handwriting. This was supposed to be your real present. From me. But I think you need to open it now. My hands shook as I took the box. It was heavy. Everyone watched as I tore through the red paper with little snowmen. Inside was another box. A laptop box. MacBook Pro, Grandma said quietly. Top of the line. For those online nursing courses you told me you wanted to take. The ones for your nurse practitioner license. I stared at the box. $1,600 easy. Maybe more. I was also going to give you this. She handed me an envelope. Inside was a check. For $10,000. Down payment on your own car. I've been saving for 2 years. The crying started then. Real, ugly sobbing that came from somewhere deep in my chest. Tasha wrapped her arms around me. I heard Mom's voice. Mama, you can't be serious. But it sounded far away. That money is Naomi's, Grandma said firmly. Unlike you two, when I say I'm going to do something for my grandbaby, I do it. I don't lie. I don't steal. I don't manipulate. We're her parents. Dad's voice rose. We raised her. Fed her. Clothed her. That's your job. Grandma shot back. That's what you signed up for when you had children. You don't get to charge them back for doing the bare minimum. Uncle Jerome laughed bitterly from the doorway. Man, I knew something was off when y'all kept posting vacation pics every 3 months. Aunt Rita pulled out her phone. Jamaica in July. Disney in September. That casino trip to Vegas in October. She scrolled through Facebook. All while your daughter was catching the bus at 5 a.m. in the snow. There's something else. Derek's voice cut through the chaos. He stepped fully into the room, his hands balled into fists. Dad, Mom, tell her the rest. Tell her about the loan. My blood ran cold. What loan? Dad's face went purple. Derek, I swear to God. What loan? I repeated, my voice dangerous. Derek looked at me, his eyes red. They took out a loan in your name. Last year. $5,000. The room exploded again. Voices shouting, people standing, chaos erupting. But I just stood there, frozen as reality crashed down around me. You took out a loan? In my name. My voice was barely a whisper, but everyone heard it. Everyone went quiet. That's identity theft. That's fraud. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Grandma's face had gone from angry to murderous. Leonard. Tell me you didn't. We needed it for Derek's basketball camp deposits. Mom cried. The good one in California. The one where scouts would be. It was for his future. On my credit? I felt dizzy. Did you forge my signature? Dad looked at the floor. That was answer enough. I pulled out my phone, hands shaking so badly I could barely type. Credit Karma. Login. Wait for it to load. There was. A personal loan from Wells Fargo. $5,000. Opened August 2024. In my name. With my stolen signature. Current balance. $4,712. You haven't even been paying it, I whispered. The balance is higher than the original loan. You've been missing payments. We were going to catch up, Dad started. My credit score. I scrolled down. It dropped 93 points. 93 points because of your missed payments. I looked up at them, these strangers wearing my parents' faces. Do you know what you've done? Tasha grabbed my phone from my shaking hands. Her face went white as she read the screen. Auntie, Uncle, y'all could go to jail for this. Like actual prison. Don't be dramatic, Mom started. Identity theft is a federal crime. Uncle Jerome interrupted. What is wrong with y'all? I stood up slowly, my legs somehow holding me. I need to leave. My voice sounded calm, but inside, everything was screaming. I need to get my things and leave. Baby, you're overreacting. Mom reached for me. I stepped back like she'd tried to burn me. Don't touch me. Don't ever touch me again. Naomi, Dad's voice. I said don't. My hands clenched into fists. You stole from me. You lied to me. You committed fraud with my identity. And you think I'm overreacting. Grandma stood beside me, her hand on my shoulder. She's coming home with me. Both of you need to understand something right now. You're going to fix this. All of it. Every penny. Every credit point. Every single thing you've destroyed. Or what? Dad's voice had an edge now, defensive. You'll turn us in? Your own son. The room went silent. That threat hung in the air like poison. If I have to, I said quietly. If you don't make this right, I'll file a police report. I'll press charges. I'll make sure everyone knows exactly what kind of people you are. I looked around at my family, aunts, uncles, cousins, all watching from doorways. They already know. The whole family knows now. But the police don't. Yet. You destroy your own family? Mom's voice was shrill. You destroyed me first. The words came out flat, emotionless. You destroyed my trust. My credit. My finances. My future. All so you could live comfortable while I suffered. I grabbed the laptop box and Grandma's check. I'm done. I'm taking Grandma's gifts, packing my things, and I'm gone. It took 45 minutes to pack 3 years of my life into trash bags and boxes. The whole family helped. Tasha, Uncle Jerome, Aunt Rita, cousins I barely talked to, everyone showed up. They carried my things in silence, shooting disgusted looks at my parents, who watched from the living room window. Derek helped too, tears streaming down his face. I'm sorry, he kept saying. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, I told him, though part of me was still angry. But you need to understand something. What they did to me, they'll do to you too. Maybe not the same way, but they'll use you. That's what they do. He nodded, hugging me tight. I'll pay you back. The car, the camp, all of it. When I turn 18 and get a job, I'll pay you back. Keep the car, I said, pulling away. You need it more than I do. Just remember this moment. Remember how it feels to be on this side of their lies. Grandma's house was only 15 minutes away, but the drive felt like crossing into another country. She'd converted her guest room into a bedroom for me years ago, always saying I had a place if I needed it. I just never thought I'd need it like this. That night, lying in a real bed for the first time in hours, I made a list on my phone. 1. File identity theft report with police. 2. Freeze my credit. 3. Contact Wells Fargo about fraudulent loan. 4. Calculate exact amount stolen. 5. Document everything. 6. Find a lawyer. 7. Figure out if I press charges or demand repayment. My phone buzzed. Text from Mom, "You're tearing this family apart." I typed back, "You did that yourself 3 years ago. I'm just the one who finally noticed." I blocked their numbers. Both of them. Then I cried myself to sleep, mourning the parents I thought I had and grieving the daughter they never really loved. 3 months later, I sat in my new apartment. A studio in a safer part of Detroit, affordable because Grandma helped with deposit. The fraudulent loan was in dispute. My credit was frozen. I'd filed a police report but hadn't pressed charges yet, giving them one chance to make it right. They hadn't. Instead, Dad had texted Grandma I still had them blocked. "Tell Naomi she's selfish. Family helps family." I laughed when she showed me. Actually laughed. The audacity. But here's what changed. I opened a savings account they didn't know about. Started therapy through my work's EAP program. Joined a support group for financial abuse survivors. Yes, that's a thing, and yes, I needed it. Made friends with my coworkers, went to my first happy hour in 3 years. Started those online NP courses with Grandma's laptop. Derek texted sometimes from a new number I didn't block. He'd moved in with Grandma too. Couldn't stomach living with them anymore after seeing what they'd done. He got a part-time job at Target, was paying Grandma rent, which she was secretly putting in a savings account for him. That's what real parents do. The family had split. Some sided with my parents. Family is family. But most sided with me. Aunt Rita posted a long Facebook rant about financial abuse and tagged Mom and Dad. Uncle Jerome stopped speaking to them entirely. Tasha became my roommate when her lease ended, splitting bills fairly, transparently. Christmas came again 1 year after the question that changed everything. Grandma asked what I wanted. "Peace," I said. "Just peace." She smiled, kissed my forehead, and handed me keys. 2018 Honda Civic. Paid in full. Reliable, good mileage, and it's actually yours. No lies this time. I cried. Not sad tears, healing tears. The kind that wash away old wounds and water new growth. "Thank you," I whispered. "For everything. You never have to thank me for doing right by you," she said. "That's just love. Real love." And for the first time in years I believed it. Real love doesn't steal. Doesn't lie. Doesn't manipulate. Real love shows up with laptop computers and car keys and therapy, encouragement, and truth, even when truth is ugly. My parents never apologized. Never paid me back. Never acknowledged the harm. But I stopped waiting for it. Stopped needing it. Started building a life they couldn't touch, couldn't taint, couldn't steal from. The bus route I used to take passes my new apartment. Sometimes I see people waiting in the cold just like I used to. I remember what that felt like. The exhaustion, the resignation, the invisible weight. But I'm not there anymore. I'm here. In my own space. With my own car. Building my own future. And that question, "How you loving that new car?" still echoes sometimes. But now when someone asks, I smile and say,